Imagine you fall out and you just
The
see your
thing
car.
flicks.
Yeah. see your car going down the road.
Yeah. Is there oil down? What's
Is there an Aussie
happening
race
here?
car going to roll out of this thing?
Yeah, that's what I said in the press conference.
Imagine there's a guy in a Portaloo around the corner. Take it out.
Or the tram's coming.
Welcome, everyone, to the last episode 8 of The Drivers Only. We have Broc, second in the championship, and the new crowned 2024 V8 Supercars champion. I was hoping you were actually going to bring the trophy in here, mate. I wanted to make sure my name was still on it.
I think it's lost from
Will
someone.
Brown, by the way. Round of applause, everyone.
Thank you. I don't even know where the trophy is right now, but no, it's feels pretty cool. It's
You have to be pretty excited, mate. It was a cracking... And you broke the record for the only guy to ever get a podium in every round.
yeah, well, in the last 40 years, but
Oh, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Like the time. Because for a while I thought, like the GOAT, when he won like 800 championships, and McLaughlin, for sure I thought those guys would have had it.
I thought McLaughlin would have done it, to be honest. He had like a crazy stat of like he's 2.8, 2.3 average finishing position. So
I think Bathurst probably brings a lot of people undone and Sandown and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I feel like Saturday when I wrapped it up, I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool, but nothing's changed. I didn't get to do a burnout. And then the Sunday race, thanks, Broc, for helping me out with the win. But yeah, I was...
Did well.
bonus.
Yeah. All right, I would have had to.
Yeah, but I was pretty stoked with the Sunday race. That made it sort of set in a bit.
As I went past, I was a little bit deeper in the field than Broc. As I went past and I saw you there, I was like, oh, that poor bugger. But then I was like, oh, you won't care that it's the last race. And then all of a sudden you're behind me. I'm like, fuck him.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like,
And then
just
he
go
wins.
past. Go past. Yeah. Holy smokes, you were quick.
I don't know where it came from. I remember turning around. I'm like, oh, this is going to suck. I'm going to finish 15th and then have to do a burnout. And like, not have to, but it's going to be not as exciting. And then I was like, oh, I'll have a bit of fun, see who I can pick off. And then, I think it was after the first stop. He's like, yeah, you're P8 and that's third in front of you. Like, and I'm like, how did we get back here? But car was fast.
Yeah, both of you guys were stupid fast over the whole weekend. But so wasn't team orders. There wasn't a multi-21 or anything come over the radio with.
Did you hear the little meow on the radio? That's our call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Broc, for doing it. But yeah.
What was he doing anyway? Like, why was he trying to race you?
So, okay. So
No,
I
not
was
you.
told...
Like, I would say
no.
that it's his fault.
I was
more than
told,
you.
like, Chaz has been told pretty much to, like, let you go. So as soon as he did that, I'm like, oh, rightio. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just show the nose.
Game on here.
So, yeah, obviously showed the nose and
Because
tried
even
to
if he
back
just
out,
let you
but-
pass and rolled around behind you, he still would have won.
Yeah, he said to me afterwards, he's like, oh, I'd let you go with 12 to go. I was worried you're going to pull 15 seconds. I'm like, mate, like, I'm not that fast.
Yeah.
Like, I was fast at that point of the race, but we both had a bit of damage after the pit stop. So,
And then a little bit
I remember
more after.
getting
a
into
tad.
third, and I'm like, imagine if these two guys crashed and I won this from last, and then they're like, Chaz in the fence at turn 5, and I'm trying to watch the big screen. I'm looking like, did Broc turn him? What's happened here? And
You're
all
like,
that.
I gotta get there.
I'm like half like, don't mean to be rude, but like I still wanted Chaz to win because obviously I just put him in the fence. So when I looked up at this, I'm looking up at the screen like out 8, and I can just see like Will on him. I'm like, oh my, like,
Oh yeah, it looked bad, but it's funny. Like,
It's funny now.
I don't even know. Like, people online are bagging saying like, oh, I turned you for the other car, but we're team players. But I'm not that committed for you. If the team came over the radio and said, oh, you just fenced this guy for Broc, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like,
To be negotiating, how much money?
yeah,
over
like
the
if
thing.
they paid me a lot, I'll
Be a
probably
lot of meowing on the radio. by the sounds
that's
of it.
right. 10 meows and I'll do it, and that means dollars.
Yeah. So how did you come up with the burnout? I heard there was a little bit of stress
Yeah.
into the weekend of how I was going to celebrate if I did get it. And
I was a bit superstitious, which I never am going into the weekend. Like, we both wouldn't touch a trophy. They wanted us to, and like people were saying, "Oh, what's your burnout? What are you going to do here?" Like going into the weekend, I'm like, I'm not planning anything because you have a crash Saturday. Sunday happens as well, and you might not win the championship. So I said, not until I locked it up will I start thinking. So I rolled in Sunday, and I'm like, how am I going to do something here? So I got in the car and tried. I was like, well, obviously Shane got out of the car. You can't beat Shane's. Everyone's like, it's not as good as Shane's. Righto, mate. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beat his
you weren't
burnout.
leaving to America, and it didn't matter if it blew a tire and turned into the crowd.
Yeah, that's
It was
right.
gone.
Like, I was like, I can't beat that. So, you're always going to let people down. But I was like, I want to get out of the car, see how Russell Ingall did it, but it was so hard because the pedals, but then obviously the new carbon bit down in our footwell and how far we sit on the inside, I was having to wrap my right foot under my left, and so right foot on the brake and left foot on the accelerator to actually be able to get out the side. And then I'm like, oh no. And then I was able to pull a bit of padding out. I could pull the padding out.
I saw you
inside the
reach
car.
down and grab something.
So I could pull the padding out, and then we made it that I could pull my pedals back as far as I could. So I did that, and then I tried it all, but obviously my Hans device, then me being unflexible, I couldn't get out with my Hans device. So I'm getting stuck on I'm getting stuck on the thing, and I'm like, shit, this isn't going to plan. And you're trying to make
some
sure
maneuvers inside the car.
you're trying to get out of the car while not crashing, while keeping the bending your
And
leg,
you're
trying to keep
knackered from doing 250 k's.
Yeah, and I was pretty stuffed. So my plan was originally that the straight line burnout I did up the main straight, I'd be out of the car the whole way up there, but as I got going and it kept creeping sideways, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to control it properly. So when I did the flick spin and stopped, I was like, I'll get into it here and get out. But there's some cool photos. Like I did get out a fair way for a while, but then, I just couldn't keep my foot on the gas. Like I was just struggling.
As soon as I would have opened the door and got up, I would have just been crapping myself that I was going to fall out. Imagine you fall out, you just see your car.
Flicks.
You see your car going down the road.
Yeah, I know. I didn't really think of that at the time. That's what
Did you put the belt around one arm or something?
Yeah. My number one mechanic's like, just don't fall out, whatever you're doing. I'm like, I wasn't thinking about that. But then I got a mad cramp with my left foot, and I'm like trying to manage this cramp. But yeah, it didn't go to plan. I'll have to, you'd have to look at that, wouldn't you, again, if you did it. But I thought it was still cool.
I thought it was good. You blew the bloody tyres off the thing, ripped the guards off it. That's all the crowd wants. They want smoke. They don't care if you're in or out of the thing.
It was cool. It was pretty surreal, actually. Like that moment probably made it set in, like grabbing the trophy and hopping on the roof and everyone cheering. Like it was probably something you wouldn't forget, that's for sure.
You got on the roof a bit smoother than Sandown.
Yeah.
He couldn't get on it on Sandown. He's like...
Couldn't quite get up there.
He slipped off.
Need a little step ladder beside it.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't even... I don't know if I went about it the wrong way, but I was like a little garden gnome trying to hop on the roof. I'm like trying to climb up. It just did not look good.
It's like you're jumping onto the bunk beds at home. You just run up and try to launch yourself onto it.
So I got out and got on the roof a bit more elegant this time. But that was
it's a cool place to wrap the championship up, isn't it? Like it's such a, like for me, I reckon, like Bathurst is cool, but for me, outside of Bathurst, I reckon that's the best weekend of the year for us.
Well, sure. I think there's only 3 events that are at that level, and that's Gold Coast, Bathurst, and Adelaide. Like, you know what I mean? Adelaide's the best, but the others put on a show. But just all the stuff, like there was so much going on. Like the sprint cars, seeing how many people were at that, and looked like pretty good race. And then like
Supercross.
I think I finished the press conference and walking out, and then the Supercross is on. You could watch it from where you left. So I was watching the Supercross for a while. Like it was pretty mega weekend.
But yeah, was there anything through the weekend where you're like, fuck, this isn't going to come together? Like it was at one point.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I dropped back a little. Well, I didn't drop back, but I was 5th in that first race, and then I stuffed up the pit stop. I had my steering wheel locked, so the boys couldn't get the front tyres off. So I came back out in 5th, and Broc had done field of tyres and was first. And I knew, I'd calculated before that if he finished first, I had to finish 4th, I think it was, or 3rd. I had to finish 3rd, and then I was wrapped up on Saturday. So I'm like, so I must have been 4th. So I was like, this is going to go down to Sunday. And then if you have a DNF, like Broc's fast, he could definitely win again on Sunday. Like, it's still a bit of risk there. So I was quite lucky. Tickford helped us out, putting the wrong tyres on for Tom and Cam. And I got out of the pits and jumped Matt Payne and then got out and passed those guys. So, it was probably only that little bit of concern on Saturday when I was like, it's going to come down to Sunday and see what happens there. But, I think no matter what, like next year is going to be crazy going in with 4 guys. Like those 4 guys that make it, the pressure is going to be pretty high. Like, like not that the pressure got to me, but you can feel the pressure on that week. Like especially Gold Coast and those places where you're like, you're leading the championship. If you make a mistake, it's really going to come close. You've been in that position. Obviously, it's a lot of pressure. So next year is going to be cool for the fans, but it's going to be a massive last race. That's for sure.
So were you like running through your head, this is just like next year I can just show everyone I can win the last race?
Sort of, like...
Because you were so, like, both you guys were quick, but you were pretty dominant on the weekend.
Yeah. Like, before the weekend, like at pre-brief, I was like to my engineer, I'm like,
I'm taking
like
this guy out.
yeah. Don't tell anyone. I'm like, we need to treat this like next year. Like we literally have to go there and we have to win both races, especially Saturday. Saturday was like for me, like I didn't look past that, and which is great because it's a good position to practice for next year. And I remember in Saturday's race, like we all knew the calculations, and I'm in third, and Randall and Waters were that quick. I'm like, genuinely, Will could come fourth in this race. But I'm just like, how the fuck am I going to win this? Like, I at the start, I didn't think I was fast enough. But yeah, we made it work and we won the race. But yeah, it's great practice for next year.
Didn't you win by like some stupid margin as well on Saturday? Wasn't it like
Saturday was 12, and
just
then
12. Cheeky little 12.
it was nearly 20. I think on Sunday it was like 19
Well,
on
if you didn't
Sunday.
take the bloke out, it would have been less.
Yeah,
You know, to claim 20 and you fenced him. Yeah,
12 wasn't enough. You
Yeah,
wanted to double it.
that's right.
But yeah, no, we were fast. It was good. Like I think obviously I'm pretty happy it's at Adelaide, the finale. Like it obviously goes good, but you could rock up next year and be it's
fun
such a
track,
time game.
though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like it's one of the like places where we go and there's legitimately a few passing positions. Like it's not everyone has to wait for the one lap for the hairpin for a lunge or anything. Like
100%.
there's
It's one of the best ones of the year, I nearly reckon.
yeah,
Full passing.
It's produces always great racing. And how was qualifying? Like that was huge. Oh, mate,
The shootout, man, nailed it. That was luck of the
ballsed up
gods.
the shootout, but the like that qualifying session was nuts.
I don't,
That
yeah.
one on Saturday.
That was like,
None of you guys got a lap on. No,
No, we did.
on Saturday.
I did my fastest lap of the weekend in that run. I
On
got
that
over
one?
the line. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in that one. So I was pretty stoked. I got a good lap in. I guess we're first out of pit lane, so it
Yeah.
makes it easy.
Yeah,
But
first and last, we cleaned it up. Book
yeah. And then, but coming around the corner, and they're like, "Yeah, there's a shunt at turn 8," and I've come round and I've seen all these cars
cars.
parked on
Yeah.
top. I'm like,
How's it?
"Is there oil down? What's
Is there an
happening
Aussie race
here?"
car going to roll out
Yeah,
of this thing?
yeah, that's what I said in the press conference. It's definitely a Camaro.
I was coming up and I
You never know.
saw the yellow flag and I could see smoke and Reynolds was right in front of me. So I'm like, all right, this is massive. So I just rolled out of it. And old mate's like pulling gears out of 7 up to 8 and I'm like, they've got the yellow flag on this. And he just tips in and I'm like way back. And then as I come around the corner, like his damper's bouncing around, bounces off the bonnet on my car and then there's a wheel going down the track and like it was wild. It was such a big accident and it was so late.
What are the chances of two cars shunting, like Cams goes right fence, and then meet up on top of each other?
Yeah.
Like,
But
And I
they all
thought-
did the exact same thing. Stanaway, him, Hill and Reynolds all clipped that inside.
Yeah,
Didn't they?
It's been a big talking point after the weekend. Is you see fans on Facebook. They got to change it. It's so dangerous. Well, how many corners do you want to change in motorsport around the world? Then, like, it's what makes. When you go to
what makes
Adelaide,
it
you
cool,
think,
yeah.
righto, this is going to be a big weekend. Make sure I
Yeah.
don't shunt at turn 8, but I got to be quick through there. It's what makes it exciting. Like, I don't think there was. You've raced there for years. Well, there wasn't anything different on the weekend. People
No,
just made mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, even the
just
shadows,
tight,
I don't remember the
like-
shadows being a thing. Like, as in, I'm sure they were there.
Yeah.
But you
Guys
have to
over the
change
years,
it.
heaps of guys have hit that inside wall. And for me to change it or to say now we have to, I think that's crap. Like
No.
the reason why we love it and the fans like watching it because it's friggin' exciting. And
Yeah.
and that adrenaline rush. Like we all raced in the Middle East and it was just like, or at Talon Bend when the walls are so far away, you don't get any sense of speed. It's not fun. Like you have a massive moment, you drive off in the grass and come back. But it's cool when you get punished.
Yeah.
Like it's not cool for the teams, but it's such a rush and it does sort the men from the boys. And over the race to be consistent, and then in those high pressure situations like both of you guys were in, to be able to nail it every lap throughout qualifying practice into the race with all that pressure. It's what this whole championship's all about. And I think if they opened it up or changed it, it would be crap.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you'd have to change every corner at Bathurst.
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously. I think it's more just like two guys obviously didn't pass the concussion test. I think that's
Fuck,
obviously
if
what
they did
raised
that
it.
years ago. Dude, how many
I
guys
know.
wouldn't do it?
Yeah, but I can't even
100%.
pass that on a good day anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm struggling to write my name, let alone anything else. But
That was a mega weekend.
then on Sunday with Jackson as well, that was right in front of me too.
That was big.
A lot of stuff going up. And for Team 18 to have coming out of Bathurst with that chassis written off, and that thing
brand new
destroyed again.
I don't understand what's up with people. Like, obviously, supercars can tap into our mic when we don't press the radio button. They can still get our audio. What's up with people yelling during crashes? Like,
mate, we had this debate last night.
I just tense up, and I'm like I don't even say anything. But how's Reynolds at Bathurst and there? Like,
Holy shit.
It's all like half talk, coaching himself.
coaching
through it.
himself through and then Payne, is like, oh shit, like going into the fence. And I'm like, I don't say a single thing.
I might get a grunt as you hit the wall. Like, as you're being winded.
Yeah, they don't want to show that audio.
No. But it's that was pretty funny. I didn't.
Reynolds down the hill, like,
I didn't
terribly crashed, one of my great mates. But when they kept showing me that, like, and him, I just could not laugh. I'm like, what is this? Like, how is he just,
What did he say on Sunday on Adelaide? It was like,
oh
whoop,
shit,
whoop, whoop. Yeah,
whoa.
yeah. And then afterwards, you could see he was just a bit winded. But I don't know. I think it's funny. But yeah, I'd never really talk. But they used to say Cito used to talk to himself the whole way around and be like, "Come on, mate, get on the gas, get on it," and like talk to himself, which would have been pretty funny. But yeah, for me, I'm too busy trying to save it. Even with 3 wheels on it, I still think I've got it.
Yeah. Saturday's race, sounds, probably from our position, you can see why we're probably a bit biased, but I'm glad they left the quali and didn't run it, Friday, and didn't run it on Saturday.
Everyone had a chance to do a lap.
Everyone had a chance. These guys have decided to road tyres and all of that. Everyone had a chance to do a lap. But what about the shake-up of the field? For like, Saturday's race was pretty good, I reckon. There was a lot of passing. Obviously, Sunday's was better, but I reckon it was good that they didn't run quali again on Saturday.
I'm sure, like, we can all sit here and say that,
I
if someone
agree.
else, obviously, like, I'd been pissed off too, but like,
you were
I
in the
totally get it
championship
from the entertainment point of view. Like, you got all the big guys, down the back.
Sunday was literally like, you could tell everyone had just taken their gloves off for Sunday's race. Like, I got turned around every 2 corners. Andrew's like on the radio. He's like, "Yeah, car in the fence, yellow flags up ahead," and I'm like, "What is going on?"
Did you
in
hear
this
Matty
race?
Payne ran into the tow vehicle?
No.
What?
Yeah, so he plucked they're pulling him out, and he got reverse and back into the tow truck, and that's why his wing was all bent up, because he backed into it, hit it, and then drove off.
Oh God, that is
there
funny.
was, like, I was the same. I was coming
a lot
around. I'm like,
happening.
"Oh, there's another one. There's
Even
another
like
one."
the Waters one, the Waters and Cooper
See how high
Murray. It
he
just
went?
didn't look.
What was Cooper
Waters-
Murray? It looked like he turned just exit stage left, like just turned left into the wall.
You just see him like get that little curb, like a little jump, and just into the fence. And you're like, how did that even happen? Like, must have interlocked wheels perfectly. I don't know what happened, but it was the funniest crash I think I've ever watched. I was like, what went on there?
Yeah, and then I was racing with Wood, and we were banging doors, and we come out with Andre and Cam, and that whole little shit show was happening. And you could just, as we're coming into the last corner, I could just see Woody coming in, dragging the front corner. So I just like plucked it back to first, hooked on the inside, and they're all just like this big swarm of crap. And I was just laughing to myself. And then Cam's come out flashing me on the with the lights, but yeah, there was plenty of stuff going on.
Yeah, that's the worst. One part about that track is when you rejoin, you're coming out of the pits and you're on cold tyres and someone's on warm tyres and you're trying to get through the first chicane, you're understeering, you're nearly through the gravel.
How's the start with old Chaz just jumped that gravel trap?
Yeah.
When you guys were side by side, I was like, "Oh, this is going to end badly."
Apparently, I didn't leave him room. Was why?
Yeah, it was a bit
why I got
dirty
let
of
through.
you.
Yeah. No.
Oh, he'd made up for it later and spun the
Yeah,
break.
that's
anyway.
right. Yeah, nobody goes around the outside.
It's a
Me at
hard one
turn
though,
one.
isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I know it's always been talked about, like pole position, because if you can go through, like, it's just a hard one.
Second wins now. That's the truth of it. So if you're second on the grid,
Yeah.
if you're second
first
on the
isn't good
grid,
there.
like
Yeah.
unless you go in so hard as first and put him in the fence nearly.
Well, I went
you're
in.
gonna win
I
us.
went in deep. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going in.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, he's gone like half a car past. I'm like, holy.
Yeah.
And then like we've both obviously hit the curb, but
I did the same thing behind it with Randall. I thought, I'll get round the outside.
Which side were
there.
you? Outside?
Outside.
To be honest, when I'm in that stretch, it hasn't been for a while, but just gas it up.
You're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
It's like at the first chicane at Gold Coast. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'll pretend to try and go through. Oh, I'll just
Yeah.
go."
Gold Coast. Matty Payne just drives around the outside of me through and doesn't even get a penalty.
That was
Just
right in
passes.
front of me.
Yeah, what was that about? But
I do like though, like Gold Coast, like staggered grid. Maybe it's not as cool, but like I kind of like it when it's still extremely close, but you're like line, because I think you want to.
Do you
have a
guys
little
have
bit
start
of
races like every other? Like like Aaron and I, we're not going to win the race, so we just have our own little start race, like 0 to 100. Do you guys?
Yeah. Not like
we used
don't
to
go
have it a
crazy
lot
over
more
it,
with
but-
me and Brody last year. Like it used to be, like, oh, I got you all the time. But like they probably don't send it out. They'll tell us at T8. But like I felt like Sunday, I got a mega start on Sunday, and I was like, yeah, I've had to have blown the doors off Randall. And then he's right there, nearly beating me off the start. I'm like, God, he must have been pretty good. We got like pretty close to you guys, but the front like 6 was so even on the Sunday.
Me and Shane went through a pit. We were both terrible. We had like the worst starts to the grid, so we'd always like
Shane
whoever
would always
won.
have a bad one.
Yeah, he was a bit of a shocker at starts. But anyway.
But do you? Oh, okay. You're probably not going to tell me, but I was just going to say for the start, do you hold a throttle, or you like Garth used to start with like next to no throttle, like 20%, and he'd
ramp it.
Yeah, and ramp it. Where I'm the opposite. I'm like, fuck, I'd rather it to wheel spin and modulate it on the clutch than for it to stall.
I'd rather just be consistent on the throttle at a percentage, so that I don't have to modulate it, because you've got too much going on then. Are you not slipping the clutch enough? Are you going too much gas? If you just hold it consistent, then you just work it out with the clutch from there, how much you slip it to how much wheel spin you get. But if you're going from 60, 70%. If you're going from like, if you're going
that
from
low.
whatever.
We'll just wind that back a little and get that record.
Let's say 20. If you're going from 20% straight to 70%, well, how can you modulate the wheel spin? I don't.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the same. That's why I hold a throttle percentage.
Yeah.
But I always, no matter, as soon as like there's like this little flinch, like your muscles go.
100%.
I've worked out it's like 7%. Like whatever I set it at, I always go 7%.
Yeah,
It's like,
That's right. I used to get like you get a report through. Like I'd get one, and I'm like, mate, that's not my start percentage. And they're like, yeah, that's when you take off. I'm like, yeah, that's because I've moved like 10%. Like you just you have your little moment.
But what about Bashimi forward? A little jump start on the weekend.
Oh, I saw that.
Wasn't as good as was it at Eastern Creek that year?
Bashimi.
I mean, don't you reckon he looks like Steve Bashimi? Another guy from.
I don't know who Steve Bashimi
Oh my
is.
God, let's get it up. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna. Find it.
Yeah,
Did he jump the start?
Yeah, he jumped. He did it at Sydney. Like I
Remember
think you're gonna
Sydney?
say
It
he
was
should have
like-
just gone. It would. Oh, he sort of did. He jumped it at Sydney and sort of like just half kept going a bit. But I reckon if you committed, you just send it. What are you?
Yeah, I reckon if you're going to jump, just jump
Remember
it.
that guy?
I
Yeah,
do
I know who
remember
that
him.
is.
Adam
Yeah, I
Sandler.
can see it.
Just doing these ones. No one is in the cast.
I do remember that.
I reckon it looks like Christ.
Oh, God.
But yeah, remember the one at Eastern Creek? Like when the light went red, he took off.
Yeah.
I think that was COVID time.
The field roars towards turn 1 for a wet weather lottery, and look at Bryce forward around the outside.
Yeah. Starts are always hard. They hold the lights for longer and you start getting nervous. You get on your bite point or something, and then you're like, oh, the lights aren't going out. This isn't good.
I don't hold. I'll find, and I'm like,
Go back.
Yeah. You have to now, I reckon.
Aaron, teammates, like, I'm just like,
He's
Mate,
Chaz.
if-
Chaz has his squatted that
Chaz
much.
things like on the deck nearly.
Yeah.
anyway.
What do you reckon? A few send-offs on the weekend. Frosty and obviously Slade doing the walk-up pit lane. What do you reckon?
Yeah. I think it was cool. I think it was. I don't know why Slady said that he didn't feel that he was worthy of it. The guy's been in the championship forever. He's a mad dog, Slady.
yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
definitely 100% should have
Legend.
walked down beside Mark. They've both been, amazing for our sport. Good characters, Winterbottom with all that Frosty stuff and the championships and Bathurst wins and all that sort of stuff. I think they've given so much, and it was cool. It's cool to see that. It's unusual they ran into each other.
How funny was that at the gala?
How funny is
When
it?
he's like,
yeah.
that was supposed to be Golding. Yeah. Sorry, man, I didn't realise you. I thought it was Golding. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, not I accidentally sent you. Yeah, I sent you, but
Yeah.
it was the wrong person.
Yeah.
I've got to say sorry to Slady too
for hitting him. I thought it was Golding. So it was a square up. It was a square up for him. So you shouldn't have swapped positions.
You're supposed to get your teammate back. But I don't know. What did you guys think?
I thought it sounded at the start, I was like, oh, this is a bit weird. But then when it was in the moment, I thought it was real fitting. Yeah. Like, as in when Slady got to me and Frosty got to me, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Because you guys wouldn't have been in it when Lounsey did his, would you?
No. I don't think I've ever seen someone actually do a send-off yet.
No.
Because with Lowndes, they did the same thing, and it was, everyone cheered and clapped and shook hands and stuff, and then he drove to the grid first and whatever. It was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah. No, they have been pretty, we're going to miss Slady. I wanted to see some of the gala antics again, but he's obviously pulled it back a bit. So
I think Chaz may have got that medal this year.
That was a bounce back, wasn't it? Far out.
I don't know how he recovered.
So I didn't see him earlier. At the gala, like he spoke well in that.
Yeah, it was like a different person. I think he's good at it.
We have to tell the people. For the people listening at home, Chaz had a pretty big driver's lunch and might have had a few too many, Coke Zeros or something like that, just waters. And he was pretty drunk by the end, but he bounced back and did some good speeches and he won everything. What's up with him, just winning all the awards?
Well, I mean, you did win the Drivers' Championship, mate.
But...
Yeah. But I thought it was weird. I reckon they should have, at least got Waters up for the pole position one because that's a good one. Cool. I think that should have had more than just something at the track.
Yeah, I'm one for everyone's like, yeah, we just want to get through the gala, but if you win, I think instead of doing some at the track, we're there, we've all stayed, we've put the effort in. If you won an award, a big award like that, or last year they didn't do the team's championship or the year before or something like that, I think that stuff needs to be recognised. Even someone said the Bathurst guys should have got up.
I think the Bathurst guys did get up last year, didn't they? Wasn't that a thing? They changed it this year.
So. I'm not sure.
By that, I'm pretty fuzzy by that time in the night.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. You had a good gala, actually.
Mate, I was the sweatiest guy in there.
Loose, actually.
Yeah. I had a great time. Zara, my daughter, came. I just got on it, had a good time. It was fun. Yeah. I'm the guy on the dance floor just sweating it up, getting in it.
Shirts unbuttoned a few.
My Sunday night
was sort of all worse.
I couldn't recover from my Sunday night. Mitch got me up at 6 a.m. I think, it was a late finish as well. And then I just stuff all day Sunday.
Photo of you laying on the ground in your hotel in front of your partner on Sunday. Was it Monday morning? That was so good. You had your team gear on still. It was awesome.
I was broken, I was like, and I had to go do sunrise, and I did all right for sunrise, I was... But,
was that the one where you said you almost vomited or something?
I just had a bit of a moment to myself during the interview.
And let's get to the crux of it. You're celebrating right into the wee hours of this morning. How are you feeling, and what does this mean for you?
Yeah. I've felt better before, that's for sure. But
that was fun. Yeah, I had a good time. What did we do? We had a Red Bull after party. A few of my mates came down.
The whole of Toowoomba was there, pretty much. We went to a Red Bull after party and we knew no one. They were just all people from Toowoomba.
Yeah, and my mates from Toowoomba had a very good time. It was quite funny. We just had a lot of fun and then went out after.
One nearly had a big incident.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, it was good. It was a good night. Sunday night was awesome. And then, I just couldn't back up Monday. I was like, I'm busted. I did a bunch of interviews and that. And then I'm like, nah, I went home from the gala about 10:30.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had big plans, and then I was 10:30. I'm like,
shut it down.
I'm done.
Oh. So what happens now with you two? What's the rest of the year?
We're pretty much done. I mean, we got today and in a couple of days our Christmas party, and then I'm checking out. Put the phone down.
Is it weird being sorry to jump in, but you don't drink? Am I correct? So is it funny seeing everyone at the gala just completely spastic and you're just sober?
It's not too bad. I can still go out and everyone's like, how many drinks you had? If in the right environment, I can still have a really good time. But
no one needs to drink to have a good time. But I was just meaning, is it
it's funny seeing everyone
and you remember everything?
And then exactly. Everyone's grabbing you to dance. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to look like that right now. I can't bring myself to doing that completely sober.
I have said to him a couple of times, I don't know how he puts up with me when he comes out till 3 a.m. and I've been drinking. It's like I couldn't put up with myself if I was sober. And I'm like, I don't know how he doesn't just go, no, you're annoying me. Just leave
He
me
might
alone.
do. He might just tie you up
Yeah,
and
he
put
just
you in the
doesn't
corner.
know.
You don't know.
Yeah, maybe I just don't know, but I just don't know how you do
No,
it.
I can still like when we went out in NZ and that, like I can still have a good time.
Yeah, in NZ, we get home and we go out for brekkie. We got home maybe 3:30. We go out for brekkie and Broc's like, "Oh yeah, I'm dusty." I'm like,
Well, that wasn't the exact words, but
he was like, "Oh, I'm so tired." I was like, "Oh, I'm there home," and I'm looking at him and I'm like, "You didn't just say that, did you?" Like, I'm busted.
mate, I need my beauty. I need my sleep. I struggle.
So was there anything through the year that was that no one knows about that was pretty funny that happened with you guys? Rental
Darwin
car
after-
crash or
The Darwin after.
Yeah, no, we won't talk about that.
Oh, what happened there? Let's go into
Nah,
it.
it's just Will can dance pretty much. He can pull out some good moves.
I can. That's
He
never
can't
getting
dance,
out.
so when he does, it's funny.
Yeah. That was a certain move. I don't think so. I think it was actually.
There was nothing too crazy.
Did you guys come to blows at any? Not blow, punch up, but was there any arguments this year
Nah.
about anything?
Only probably the Tassie one was a bit tense. You know, when
Yeah.
I put a block on Broc.
Threw a
Sorry
John
about
Bow
that.
at Broc.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, but I don't think so. Anything apart from that, it was pretty.
We've done
I feel like our engineers were, well, not even Broc's engineer, but like our engineers, because back there, like, you know, you obviously, any team running at that level, you have some team orders, and then you always have to sort of put your case forward from the engineer as to why, you know, I shouldn't let him past or what. So I feel like we don't have the arguments, you know what I mean? We're just listen.
But you do seem to race each other pretty well. Like it's not sort of like one of you catches the other and then the team's like, oh, right, shut it down, and you guys just drive behind each other. You still have a crack at each other.
We
like
had a
you're pushing.
little bit of that at the start of the year. Like, we were in a pretty good position at the start of the year. I think we won the first 5 or so races. And, like at AGP, there was, like, the big, like, oh, my God, are your tyres going to blow up sort of thing. So, like, there was a few races at the start of the year where it's like, don't put too much pressure on it. But, like, when we got to Taupo, like, they're just like, yeah, boys, like, you know the rules. Like, if we touch, we get in a lot of trouble. They're like, just go for it. Will run into me a few times. No, I'm joking.
You tested me.
Yeah. But to let it
Teabag
off,
my drum kit.
and it was the same at Adelaide. Like, we didn't have door-to-door racing
So
between
who
us.
is it that pulls you through? Is it the goat or?
Nah.
Duddo's like the one that sits down to like, look, you boys know the rules. Like, don't run into each other, but race hard sort of thing. So it's good when we're in a position where we're out front, like Taupo, and we had a gap, and they're just like, you guys can sort it out. Don't do anything silly. But
The thing is, you learn in that situation how many times you run into someone to pass them.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like,
'Cause you
you're like,
can't.
I could have passed this guy if it wasn't my teammate 10
Just
laps
rolled
ago.
off and doored him.
Yeah,
if that
that's
was
right.
someone else at Taupo, it would have been done in one lap, and
Yeah.
it would have just been like, oh.
Yeah, like,
But
that was
we're like,
boring.
oh my God.
that back corner, like the hairpin at Taupo, you just get underneath him a few taps and burn the tyres off and you'd be fine. And I'm like, this is really hard. I can't even hit him. What am
Yeah.
I going to do here? But
Just to hope he makes a mistake.
yeah, that's right. But yeah, it was a good year. I don't think there was anything.
No.
Get along well. It's all been pretty good, really.
Was there anything that surprised either of you through the year with someone's performance or, something that went on?
In our team or in
Oh,
general?
just in general.
Your Townsville quality shootout?
Oh, that was
Mate, you
cracker,
nearly went to
wasn't
the
it?
top.
Oh, I thought I was on for a second there. It's the one time all year the car hooked up. Whoop.
I'm trying to think if anyone did anything good throughout the year that just was surprising.
Like any cracking moves you pulled on someone or someone got over you and you're like, oh.
You always have good ones. You know, like, I feel like there's always you pull some good moves, but I don't think there's...
Nothing that's jumped out.
I don't think so. I just hate it when someone gets you with a really good move and you're like, oh, that's it. I'm pretty much their bitch now until they like
I've got
they
to get
just
them
like
back.
they cross you over or something. You're like, I should have known they were going to do that. How did they get me? But I reckon there's definitely some guys you have to be a little bit more like, coming up on you. JC's not making it easy for every
I
time.
pretty much put the blinker on Sunday, mate.
Yeah, you
Calm
did,
down.
yeah.
I was like,
You did
I was like,
actually.
go bye, buddy. Win the championship. Do a burnout. Thank you.
You were nice, but then there's like other people, like obviously what Chaz did on Sunday, like just going to make it hard and it's going to be interesting and the racing's going to be, a difficult pass. But nothing that stands out so much.
What about you? Cool stuff?
I don't know. I probably thought the Waters was going to be stronger, like as a team, through this year. I thought they would have featured a bit heavier.
I've thought of something.
What, go?
Remember him and Payne at Grand Prix when Waters had gone and sprayed him in the
That
door?
was good.
That was pretty
That
funny.
was good.
That was a decent shun as
And
well.
then
Yeah.
Ned did the promo the next day. They
Oh,
did
yeah,
like the
with the
discount.
whiskey.
Yeah.
And now Cam has his own whiskey.
yeah.
I
wonder
thought
if
that
they
was
make it.
funny.
They don't. I asked him and I didn't even calculate it through my head. Like they had to go at him, but
But that was pretty funny. There wasn't any other scraps, was there?
Ah.
not really.
What was it like working with Mr. Pie?
Yeah, no.
Very
actually,
outspoken.
Yeah, obviously he's doing his podcast, you know. It's,
Why
why are you looking
Why are
at
you
me?
looking at me?
What are you guys laughing for?
They can see your eyes, mate.
Now
I'm
you
not sure,
can't.
to be honest. Like he was good to work with. He did a
I
fantastic
did a few
job.
years with him.
Yeah, did a fantastic job all season round, apart from Thursday at Bathurst, obviously. But
Oh, we've got a massive problem here for Pye. He's in the wall at the cutting.
Oh,
joking.
the accident.
No, I'm only
yeah.
joking. But no, the rest of the time really fast. Obviously, the podcast started doing it. He's gained some followers off that though. That has been massive. Like, just the amount of people throughout the rounds that came up, and I guess he's sort of dragged I would say the Adelaide fans and all of those fans that sort of have a bit of a not a problem with supercars, but they want changes, and I guess that's what the podcast's about. He's very outspoken. I feel like people either love the podcast or don't like the podcast is what I've worked.
I think it's cool, like Shane, like you've seen Shane, and a lot of people wouldn't have seen him in that way. Like we've all seen Shane in that open environment where he can say what he wants and that. But it's like you enjoy watching the podcast, and I'm sure everyone's loving it where like everyone can just speak freely because they got nothing holding it back, which is
I think Scott's done what the sport kind of needed though in a way, and hopefully more people do it. Is that we have these 3-week breaks and there's nothing to listen to watch or anything like that for it. So, they can log on and listen to the debrief when they want to think about motorsport and watch motorsport. And I think that more drivers should probably do a podcast that people can get that fix with when we're having our weekends off.
Well, we're doing one now.
True.
And with the GOAT, again, another time around, he let you qualify this year?
Yeah, he did let me qualify this year.
Did before you're rolling,
To
you're
be-
like, mate,
I'm
driving
Yeah,
this thing
hey,
all
this is
year."
my car now. No.
I wanted to
I don't
ask
care how
this,
many
but
championships you won.
I wanted to ask it, but I haven't had the balls. How did that come about that year?
So I went out in the wet and I was terrible at Bathurst. I nearly won. Well, I shouldn't say nearly won. I was like battling with Shane and Cam at Tail and Bend in the wet the weekend before, and then go to Bathurst and I was terrible. And then he goes out and literally the first lap he goes P2.
Yeah, it was probably dry. But
And I'm like, oh. And then I think the team went to put me back out or something like that. And anyway, it got to quali and they're like, everyone's like, oh, sorry, like, do we put Jamie in? And I'm like, guys, I honestly don't care. But then we qualified 14th anyway. I'm like,
was
I
about
probably
to
should have
say
just
that.
done it. You know, like,
Who made the call? Who told you? Yeah, he's
no, like everyone brought it up. Like the team sort of brought like, oh, what do you think about? And I'm like, do it. Like I literally I didn't care. Like I just wanted to win the race. You know,
1,000
you go in there
kilometres.
to win the race.
Yeah.
Like there was zero ego
very
burn in that.
mature of you, Broc.
But I remember sitting in the garage, in the truck, and I'd watch it on my phone
when
because
you
I didn't want to
14th,
walk
were you
out.
just like, sucked in
But then,
goat.
like, you obviously see the TV, and they're like, "Oh my god, Jamie Whincup's in his suit." And then my phone just flooded, and everyone's like, everyone had their opinion on it. But literally, I was there to win I was there trying to do the best I could, and I thought he'd do that. But I'd happy let him qualify this year. I think he'd still put it in
it
the
does
tent,
go
you
pretty
know?
well still.
so
doesn't it?
fast. You go to a
Like-
test day and you literally have to
Man.
be on your game. Otherwise, he's
You're talking smack. and he's
We
like,
were doing
shut up or I'm going to get in and go faster.
Yeah, he's like, you did a shit job. No, I'm in. No, but like literally at the test day, we were doing like back-to-back runs and that. And man, like I was wheeling this thing and I'd get him by like a few hundredths and I'm like, oh. And Marty's come on the radio and he's like, yeah, you've still got your job just. Like, you know, we were winding each other up. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
he
is
still
so
goes
fast
good.
Still, it is
He
amazing.
could
he-
still be doing it.
But is he like Tim? Whenever Tim drives my car, it's like fresh tyres. Tim won't drive.
Nah.
Oh, that's so funny. Like at ride days and stuff, he gets in, and it's like,
Ties on.
they're all set
Pay the
out.
bills.
Yeah. And then he goes out. And once it gets a bit squirrely and the tyres are gone, he's out. He's done.
It's funny, like at Thursday practice at Bathurst, we're like, yeah, let's focus on a race car and that. And Jamie goes out and like laser heated it. He goes P1 in the session, and Will comes in and he's like, I think you liked him. Or like, were you like pushing then, or was that like race runs? And he's like, mate, that was my quali sim for the weekend. Like, I was flat out.
Yeah, well, we had this plan. I thought we had this plan in the trailer that these co-drivers are going to do a race run and we'd know. And then, yeah, he's just gone like a second and a half quicker than Scott. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I've gone over.
Is that why Scott crashed? You sort of pushed too hard there?
I actually said to Andrew, get on the radio and tell him to get going. And then he crashed.
That was your fault.
I'm like, oh, I feel bad. Scott will even say the truth. He's like, yeah, he's got on. He's like, yeah, Jamie's a second quicker. And then 2 minutes later, bro, Scott. So Scott was actually probably doing really good times, to be honest, for what he had. But Jamie he literally looks at that session, yep, I'm laying down a heater. This is my quali, and he was fast. But, yeah.
Still got it.
Oh, he still has. He'd be there for as long as he wants, I think, nearly.
So moving along a little with you've worked closely with Brody and all those years at Erebus and whatever. How do you reckon it's going to go with him at DJR? Is it because they're taking a lot of the people out of there?
Yeah, I reckon. Obviously, well, I think if they bring those guys in, they've got to give them free range and do what they want, which I'm sure they're going to.
So have they got rid of all their engineers
at Erebus?
No, at
DJR.
Both.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think both. Like DJR.
Yeah, I think Perry's been announced that he's going to Supercars. Is that right?
What about, is it Richard at...
Richard.
Where's he going?
Don't know. Where is he going?
Don't we?
Oh, right. Is it something... You got something to break?
Well, I know.
Oh, right.
Do you?
No, we don't.
Oh.
I've had whispers, but anyway.
Oh, where was the whisper? I can confirm or deny it.
From you.
I don't tell anyone. Yeah. But yeah, what do you reckon it's going to be like? Because it's going to be quite a different environment for him.
It's going to change a lot, isn't it?
I think, it's like Chaz went to Walkinshaw and everyone said, going there. Not, everyone wanted him at the time to go to Penske or 888 and he's performed at a team. He's a good driver. I think that I think Brody's got the engineers he needs. That's why he's taken them. And I think he's, on a bit of a high right now still. He's won Bathurst. I think he's still a contender.
He was quick at the end of the year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was quick. And yeah, it was... I think he's a contender for the top 4 at the end of next year.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, speed's never a question with him, and I think he seems like he's quite the engineer also.
Yeah.
But yeah, just be an interesting dynamic. I think it's probably better that it's not the Penske way anymore. I think that's probably that loosened up a little.
I hope they make him tuck his shirt in and do all that.
What's it called? The barrel hat or bowl hat or whatever the hell.
Bucket hat.
Has to have a tidy haircut. Can't shave his head every 3 rounds or something.
Yeah. But no, I think that should be an interesting dynamic.
Be a cool story next year. Like, they haven't had the best couple of years from where they've been. It'll be like, can they bring it back to the front?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Do you think it's going to be... Why can't WAU and Chaz get it together? You guys are...
I don't know.
I think they had.
For a championship, because how many years he's been in a long time?
I feel like they made a few silly errors towards the back end of the year. From a team point of view, maybe.
I think it's more like the round obviously he struggled at Darwin, but then they smoked us for a few rounds, like Townsville and Sydney.
They were stupid fast, and the next weekend we rolled at Darwin and it's nowhere.
Sydney was ridiculous. He could do whatever strategy he want.
Yeah,
and,
they definitely found some good speed though this year. Like when they were shining, man, they were unbeatable.
But there's just not the consistency. Like you guys, no matter where we go. You guys are quick. It doesn't matter where you go, you guys are going to be there, and there's no bogey tracks for you. And it seems like every other team sort of has a drama at one circuit, or it's not good for them for whatever reason, or they don't have the consistency. Why do you reckon you guys are so strong all year? And whether they change drivers, like take Shane out and you roll in, or Jamie goes and you come in, it doesn't change. Like no matter what it is, it's 888-1-2 sort of. Speed-wise, do you put it down to the group back at Banjo or whatever it's called?
They're playing the banjo.
They've obviously the crew's obviously amazing. They've got you're looking at some of the guys. Like for myself coming in, looking at some of the key people they've had for years. JJ, Dutto, Gooey, all those guys that run their sections. If it's a workshop or the engineering, whatnot, they do such an amazing job, and they have great personnel from the engineers and everything there. But just procedures, I guess, and the way they set up the cars leading into the weekend, I guess, is a big part of why there's not bogey tracks. You know, they have a philosophy behind how they set up the car each weekend, and I think we roll out of the trailer extremely competitive each one. And I think that's a big part of it. And yes, you're not chasing your tail. I feel like for so many years I was. Last year with Erebus, I didn't feel like we were chasing a tail. We'd make small changes and we'd be in the window each round. But I remember with Erebus, we were changing uprights back when you could. You were throwing a whole different setup in it over Saturday night for Sunday. And you just never knew where you're at. You didn't know what change actually made an improvement, or because you threw 12 at it overnight to try and get somewhere where... Now I remember Andrew being like, "Oh, the cars are different, and it's such a minimal change. It's a rear spring or something like that." So
What was that spring?
Yeah, I'm worried he's going to slip something up here. Yeah, I'm ready to jump in.
I'll be in trouble.
75 rear spring. That's all. He had a 70.
Yeah, but that's right. So I think they just roll the cars out so strong. The philosophy before you go there is so good that you don't have those bogey rounds. But my one for next, Waters. I reckon Waters was, since Taupo, he was solid. Like I think he actually didn't beat me, but either
had a good back end of the year.
His back end of the year was nearly on par with mine. Like it wasn't far off. So he was pretty strong from there on. So it's going to be interesting to see how everyone rolls out over Christmas. Because like what confused us most, we go to Bathurst first round like a second quicker than everyone.
Yeah.
Then you go to Bathurst with like probably the same setup, tyres and everything, and then you qualify 5th or 6th, and you can't. You know, Brody's up the road and that. So I think everyone just got on top of their cars a lot this year and got faster throughout the year. And the competitiveness, I might be talking it up, but I don't think the category has seen this amount of competitiveness. Like there's always different people up the front every weekend.
Yeah, it has been pretty good. Mitch is into us. He wants us to get into, there's a mailbag there or something. Read some exciting little questions. But yeah, I'm saying, I think, Cam was super strong. I thought he was going to be one to push you guys this year.
Does an incredible job in qualifying.
Yeah,
he's a cracker. He can.
Man, they can lay a lap down.
Yeah, he throws a heater down.
I got a pretty good one. So who was the last man standing on Sunday night?
Oh,
definitely you.
I wasn't the last man out of our team, but I set a 3 a.m. curfew on myself because I knew I had the sunrise. So I left at 3 a.m.
Was that like Queensland time? So like
so like
3:30 or whatever.
but got home. I was fine.
I didn't even go out.
Did you?
No, I had to get my Zara flew in, so I got her. But damn, the next night.
You were probably last on the Monday night.
Definitely the sweatiest.
So this is from James for Will. What was it like coming home to Toowoomba to see so many fans?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Obviously I still work when I'm home, and I have so many people come into the car yard and like, oh, you did a good job on the weekend, like throughout the year. And then when I won and saw a few people comment on Facebook, oh, cool to see a Toowoomba person win, I was like, oh, we got to do something for the fans. So I thought I'll put on a bit of a day that fans can come out to the car and have a look at the supercar.
I was disappointed you didn't get Todd there to spin those snags.
Yeah.
I even reminded him. I sent you a message.
You did send me a message. No, we couldn't. Todd was booked out that day, I think, but couldn't get him.
Has he been announced that he's going to DJs with?
Surely he is.
Well, you've just announced it.
No, I said, has he?
But then you dropped the names.
I don't know. I thought he was.
There's a speed cafe.
All right. From Ebbs, which rookie will be the one to watch in 2025?
Kai Allen and Cooper Murray.
Which one? Do you want to put bets on who you think is going to finish higher? Is that?
I don't know. Who do we think is going to be the one to watch?
I'm going to get in. I don't know. I was pretty impressed with not Saturday on Coop, but Sunday. Cooper's qualifying 12th or 13th. I thought that was. I'm going to go Cooper. I think but consistency, you got to watch that, but I think he's got raw pace.
He's got a bit of crazy eyes going on, doesn't he?
Yeah. It was quite funny. In Saturday's race, they're like, oh, don't worry, Cooper's 6 laps down, and you're behind him. And then he just fences Frosty in front of me, and I'm like, alrighty then.
You're like, oh, God. Look at the championship here.
I'm like, get him, Cooper.
Yeah.
Are you on the radio to him?
Yeah. But,
meow.
Yeah. It was actually, so the meow came from is that, how people sometimes don't use pit. I said to my engineer as a joke on Sunday, I'm like,
No,
can you just
you didn't.
meow at me to pit as a joke? And he's like, I'm not meowing. Like it was a total piss take. He wouldn't do it.
Wasn't.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Cooper.
It's a hard.
You probably raced both of them quite a bit. younger.
Yeah, I have. I really rate Kai. I think he's a guy that's going to be around for a long time, and I think he can put a championship together. I think Cooper's going to have a couple of standout races. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he polled it. Like he's capable. He's got the raw speed and that to pole it. Yeah, it depends how, I suppose, they fit into their environment. Like, how Kai's going to go at Grove. They've got two young guys. I think Kai's going to be
Kai
good.
Would be more looked after than at Erebus with.
Well, it's just how everyone fits into their
Looking at you.
environment. You know,
Say
like,
anything.
no, but like it's just how people, are going to fit in. Like, yeah, I think if they look after, if they look after him, right? I think they'll go well.
Kyle will be more consistent. Cooper will have the standouts. Like you said.
I
Cooper,
think so.
Cooper will come get on the podium or something. Kyle will probably be, a further up
Consistently
in the championship, I think.
Yeah, I said to Tim Edwards years ago that he should get Kai because I remember him from karting and did
He's
really
always
well.
been,
and,
100, yeah.
and he's comes from a great family, and I think he presents really well. So yeah, I think like Broc said, I reckon he's going to be a guy that's going to hang around for quite a while.
Yeah.
We got any more in here?
Yeah, John, keep going.
Yeah, let's ask a couple more. What we got here? From Mungo Kitty.
Oh, meow.
Will, what would you offer me for my 2018? I didn't even read it. 2018 Subaru Forester.
Oh, what's it worth?
I got to
How
know
many
the Ks. I
Let's just
can't.
say 154,000.
Oh, 154. It's getting high though. 2018.
Nah, it wouldn't be that many for two.
I don't know. It
Oh,
could
it
be
could
from
be.
the bush.
Is it an ex-hire car? What is it? I just don't have enough information, guys. I
Never
can't
raced
do
or
it.
rallied.
Yeah. But thank you. But I'll give you 10 because I know I'm safe.
All right, done.
Drop into Call Cars Galore and
Yeah.
find out. You going?
Yeah, from Jacob. Are there any advantages or disadvantages with starting a year with a new chassis?
No, everyone's so good at building.
You
them
guys
these
getting
days.
any new ones this year? Oh, you are, aren't you? Or one of you had
No.
one? Or
One of us are.
oh, the champ.
Yeah. And
Did you just call it now? You're like, mate.
guess what number?
Look at the
chassis
number
it
on the
is?
side. Hey, sorry to jump around a bit here. We'll get back to the chassis number because I'm a bit excited, but I just thought of something that's funny.
You know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but something that's funny. Now you don't have to run 87. Can you admit that it's a shit number?
This is all the start of this year because
Yeah, 'cause you're
Jamie
talking-
sends me a message and Jamie goes like, hey mate, this is your number for the year, and I'm like, oh yeah, righto, like 87, whatever. Like I didn't think it was bad, didn't think it was good. I'm like 87, that's fine. They've just obviously won worse than Broc. They're happy just to put me as second driver straight away. No, I'm joking. But then, like, everyone's just, like, sending me messages, all these drivers, like, Waters, you, Brody. Everyone's like, God, that's a shit number. And I'm like, what do you mean? What's wrong with the number? They paid me out for rounds about my number. So I didn't think 87 was too bad. Like, I'm pretty keen to run it. Yeah, I
might
like
swap
it
next
now.
year. No.
Yeah. You don't
I'll
have
be
to
right.
go to 87, do you?
Yeah. So I actually like it now, 87, but yeah, we might be able to get away from it for a year.
All right, back to whatever you were saying about your chassis number
Oh,
or
my
something.
chassis number.
Yeah.
We both wanted it this year.
Oh,
Triple Eight.
is it
Take a
Triple
guess.
Eight?
No, take a guess.
No, one better than 888.
I didn't even know what number you guys would be up to.
It's
It'd be
always
like
the immature
1,000.
number. We're like chassis 69.
Oh, dinner for two.
So we're having a fight this year. It's like whoever beat each other in the championship, and I'm like, so I got to choose a name for it.
Yeah. Anyway,
It'd have to be something quite flirtatious, wouldn't it?
you got any
thinking that.
suggestions, James?
Oh, I've got plenty. We'll get back to that off air. But and so you're getting a new one. Did you have a new one this year?
We both had new ones this year.
bingo.
Yeah.
I think I get a new one next year.
I think it's been announced, but we're not getting it for the start of the year. So we're working on our Super 2 cars at the moment.
Oh, because one got destroyed, didn't it?
Yeah, so I think we're doing another car now, but we're pretty much refurbing those. So then our new chassis will roll in, or Will's new chassis will roll in a bit later in the year.
What about that guy's shunt that at turn 4 that went around the barrier and tried it, nearly made it out?
Mate, imagine if he did
to
though.
Wakefield Street.
Like he would have bowled. Mate, he would have got a strike. He would
When
have
the
bowled some
fence
people
was
over.
laying over, I was like, damn, this guy's gone up into the top of it to try and knock it over.
But people are like, why did he do that? Why didn't he just... You're not thinking when you're the driver, oh, yeah, I'm just going to crash into the barriers here. You're like, oh, I'm going to make it through the other... You're not thinking, if I make it through, this is going to be bad.
We'll just deal with whatever's on the other side.
Yeah, that's right.
Imagine there's a guy in a portal around the corner. Take it out.
Or the tram's coming.
It was pretty funny.
Sorry. Yeah.
But, you got another one for us, Broc?
Chassis.
I got one for you. From Riley, do any of you have plans to do any racing outside of supercars next year?
Oh, this is looking straight down the barrel at you.
12 hour? I'm looking at doing 12 hour.
Oh, what are you doing? Who are you doing it with? That Audi again?
Oh, big dog.
There's a new one. There's new.
What, a new Audi?
New Audi. How'd you get that so quickly? So looking at doing 12 hour.
You do it too, don't you? 12 hour?
Yep. Yeah, I'll be doing it.
With Triple Eight or... No, because they're not doing it anymore, those... the Malaysian guys.
Yeah,
with you guys.
Yeah, the Princes are no longer.
But you did yours with him, didn't you?
No, this year we run a pro car.
Okay.
We run a pro car, but I've done it for 3 years with Triple Eight now.
Yeah.
Triple Eight generally try to do it. It's just super expensive.
Yeah,
you
just
did
trying to
like-
make it work up.
I think I remember watching your pole lap. I was like...
Yeah.
He's bloody fast
Yeah.
around Batha. Like, it's ridiculous in the GT car.
Yeah.
Anyway, aside from that...
Hopefully 2 NASCAR races I'd like to do. So that's the
what
plan.
ones are they?
Yeah. Be pretty easy to work out for all the
Talladega,
journos at home. Just
Daytona.
look up cross-reference supercars and you'll work
calendar.
them out. So hopefully,
I did remember you asked me about a date a few months ago.
That's right, I did. So we'll say 1, but hopefully 2 if the car's available, and then see what happens with GT after 12 hours.
Did you enjoy it this year?
GT?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. It's just a lot of travel. You know what I mean? Like they're doing the Thursday practice days.
Lucky you have your own plane.
Yeah. But they're doing Thursday practice days, so you have to get there Wednesday, and you're leaving Sunday or Monday. It's another long week, but
That doesn't leave a lot of time in the year for cars galore, does it?
no, Dad's not happy. He's not happy.
What I struggle with on those weekends, and it's good in a way, but like you have like 2 sessions a day, and then just like literally nothing else.
Oh, because there's no...
There's,
like
there's nothing
or
happening. So
no
you're
team
like, you
meetings,
go
nothing.
away for such a long weekend, and you're just like, we could have done all this in a day.
Yeah.
But,
Are you going to do any more in the year?
I haven't got anything locked in, but we got a setup.
The engineer. Should we get him on the blower and ask him some
Dunno.
questions?
Yeah, see what he's got bombshells. But I want to try do a couple races in Europe. So I raced there a couple months
With
ago.
those guys? Or with Triple A? Or...
No, just
randoms?
with anyone. Like I went and drove for a Merc team a couple months ago at Monza.
How cool's that?
Yeah,
Monza.
it's sick. It's
wild, isn't it?
fast, man. Like,
Did you go out on the banking?
Yeah.
Oh, you would have gone for karting days. wouldn't you?
Yeah, I briefly went there, but it's unreal. Like super cool. We struggled, but like I want to try and do like 4 or 5 there next year. Haven't got anything lined up, but it's, hopefully sort something out. But then hopefully do a good job at the 12 hour, and then the phone starts ringing. What are you holding back?
He's doing his NASCAR stuff.
No,
Yeah,
he looks like he's about to drop something.
I was just holding back a burp.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
wasn't-
I just let one go. But is it going to be in the main one? Like
yeah,
the-
that's what I'm hoping. Oh well, definitely for one, but it's just I guess Chicago's one I want to do. But a lot of the guys over there want to do it, so it's if a car's available, a team's available. So waiting to hear on that one. That'd be awesome if I could try to do that. But I'd be happy to do Xfinity if I couldn't get that. Obviously Xfinity's over there is pretty big, so I just think it's cool. Like,
Was it a good experience?
Yeah, it was cool. Like, obviously, it was disappointing the car broke down, but the GM simulator. So I went over there, did the GM simulator for like a few days, came back, and then went over there and did it a few days before the round again. Rolled out of the pits, and I think my first lap. My second lap, I was third because I just did what the simulator was.
Must be pretty good sims then.
Oh, they're amazing. Like it literally was the same feeling. I was like, oh right, like just do this here, do that there, and I'm like, oh yeah, like even like to some of the areas you had understeer, I was like, oh the sim. Oh, I wonder if it's this good that we can actually. We had a bit of understeer on the sim and didn't change it, and then it was the exact same through that corner, straight away out the gate. So it was pretty amazing. But I don't know. I just look at. I sort of want to compare myself against. I didn't. You went overseas and did the journey to F1 and that sort of stuff, and obviously did really well. But I've sort of stayed in Australia, so like even though I'm not planning on going to NASCAR, but I can go over there and compare myself against those guys. If I can do the 12 hour and all that, you can compare yourself outside of just the Australian motorsport. But I think it has shown with Shane going over there and when everyone goes, like it's pretty competitive here, So yeah, see what happens. What about you? You just you know.
Mate, I'm too old. I'm lucky to have the drive I've got, I reckon. So I'll just see out this year. Walk down the grid at the end of the year, shake your
it's
hands.
announced.
It's not very often someone announces their retirement like a year and 8 months
Yeah,
out
what
or
was the
something.
go there? Like,
I just ballsed up, really. I was just doing an interview and I was talking about real estate stuff, so I didn't really think anyone from motorsport world would be listening on Channel 7 News or whatever it was, and just rolled it out. But the funniest was the next morning I was just in bed and I got a message from my manager, Alan, not really my manager, but was. And he goes, "Why the hell did you retire on TV last night?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "You retired?" I said, "No, I didn't. I just did an interview about real estate." And he goes, "Have you watched the video?" And I'm like, "No." And he goes, "Go back and watch it." So I watched it. I'm like, "Oh God." But yeah, it's yeah, I'll do this year, then that's it, mate. It's been cracking. I can't believe I've been able to do it this long. It's awesome. I love it, but I don't want it to happen like what's happened to a few of the guys where they get to the end and it's being tapped on the shoulder like, "This is your time. You're done." I wanted to be the guy that called it. So yeah, here we are.
How's the real estate going? You sold many?
Yeah, good. I actually just waiting on the contract to be signed right now, which would be nice. But no,
payday.
I'm enjoying it. Something completely different.
When are you going to start putting your mobile on there, though? I tried ringing up on one recently, James Courtney. He can't even call you.
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
do
got
you
a
have
different
a
mobile
mobile
number?
number? Do you have a different mobile?
Maybe
Do you have heaps of fans calling you?
No one's ever called me.
Really?
Yeah, it's been good.
Everyone look at the things and call him. On a race weekend.
Its phone's already ringing now. Thanks, guys. But
That's
yeah, no,
all
I'm
booking an inspection like for a few days in a row.
No.
I've got this place sold.
I'll be sending everyone to cars galore.
Yeah, perfect.
I
Send
do
them up
need
there.
a car for the little Zara. So.
Yeah, we'll have to get that sorted.
Yeah, so as long as you do me a good deal. Good deal.
And he
Anyway.
just wants a house on the Gold Coast.
But
Yeah.
Chrissy, you guys are just chilling?
Hanging out.
Nothing?
I don't know yet. I'm going up to Mooloolaba, but we're going to go over. My girlfriend wants to go overseas, so we're going overseas.
Where are you going?
I don't know yet. I haven't
To
booked
America
it,
for a
but-
NASCAR race?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll go overseas, plan it with a race.
Yeah.
No, I'd be happy to go to Bali or Japan. I haven't done Japan, so I'd be pretty keen to go check that out. Maybe go
Some
for
cool
a ski.
tracks there.
Is there?
Oh, yeah, Motegi, Suzuka,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Suga. Heaps of cool
I'm not
stuff.
going to a racetrack. I can
But
tell
it's
you
supposed to
that
be the
much.
best, the powder skiing in the world.
Yeah,
And it's winter
that's
for
what they
them.
say.
Yeah, so I
So you
thought
go up in the north, it's awesome.
we were thinking Bali, but I think
They
I'll
got those
change it to
monkeys,
Japan.
they're the red ass ones that sit in the snow.
Really?
They
In the
sit
snow?
in the hot springs, yeah. And they sit in the hot springs, they're funny.
Yeah, right. Oh,
What are you
mate.
doing?
Nothing.
Hanging
just
out?
hanging out home. Tegan's just on, she's got 3 months to go.
Yeah.
For the next little Courtney number 4, which is scary. So
You're going to have to keep driving. Well, you're going to have to sell a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I had to keep driving now because I paid for those ones. But yeah, no more kids. That's it.
At least it's like good because
There's a gap.
There's a gap.
Yeah.
So they can look. Zara can look after them.
I try that. She's not that interested though.
Oh,
but it's a
right.
good contraception.
Yeah,
'Cause then
yeah.
she's like, I'm like, if you do that, this is what you end up with. So hopefully
Fair.
it's slowed her down. But she's been trying flat out texting me all day because it's her last day of school tomorrow for the kids. And she's like, no one's at school. Everyone's gone. Come and get me. So it's she's been into me and I'm like, I'm in Brisbane. She goes, I'll come. And I'm like, no.
Have you had any of the grade 12 parties? Dad, I want to have a party. Or
No, but I have had the first bloke come over for dinner.
How'd that go?
not happening. Wouldn't
It's
allow
so
it.
hard. Like, it's hard to explain. It's
Did you get
it's
all the
not
boys
nice.
over and reenact
Like-
the what's the scene out of Bad Boys?
Bad boys
Yeah.
with guns and stuff.
Who that is, dog? I just got out of jail and I ain't going back.
I try to be the cool dad, but it's not easy. And because I know what I was like, I'm just like, oh no. And Zara's like, boys aren't like that, Dad. And I'm like, I was a 17-year-old boy. I know exactly what they're thinking. But yeah, so that's my Christmas is blocking that stuff off. Cadell's got his grand final for basketball tomorrow night, which is cool.
Oh, awesome.
He loves basketball, so so yeah.
I can't believe how much they've grown up.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's crazy.
So yeah, scary. But anyway, and starting again, you guys will be
Will's next.
in on that soon. How long have you guys been together?
3.5, I reckon. Or maybe
Coming up
4.
on it.
Yeah, so no, I'm too busy.
You got to keep
she'd
that
be a single
NASCAR
mum.
things going.
She'd be literally a single mum. Like, I'm away. I think I was home for 4 days of the last 5 weeks. Cats didn't even look at me when I came. They don't generally anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's
Anyway,
it.
So nothing else. You're just home.
Yeah,
cruising
just chilling
around?
at home. chilling at home, a bit of boating and that. Just try and enjoy the actual place that we live in. I think we live in a pretty good spot.
It is a beautiful time of year. But we're now dragging it out. So it's most exciting things about 2025. Mitch has just thrown us topics from the side.
Pretty keen to get back on the drivers pod next year.
Yeah.
I think that's probably
Drivers only, you
drivers
mean?
only pod. I think that's what I'm.
You must be looking forward to rolling out with the big number 1 on the side.
Yeah, that'll obviously be cool. Be pretty cool. I could just have like a 5-month break, to be honest. I'd be pretty happy to have like,
Just mic drop it and come back.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
Brody did.
Yeah, that's right. I
Yeah,
could just
do a
do
bit of
what
Brody.
Brody did.
Got to make sure you get top 10 in the championship.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I don't know what's the most exciting thing yet about next year. You know, it's
It'll be exciting with that Toyota coming in. Like
Yeah.
they'll start testing
Yeah.
that thing. I think that's going to be amazing for us as a championship. I think it's
100%.
Huge.
and I wouldn't be surprised if someone else. You guys would probably be the pick for someone else coming in and jumping on board with you guys. I would say on the back of the Toyota thing.
like another manufacturer. You mean?
Yeah.
Oh right. Well,
Where the head was shed. You know, like we got a really good relationship. Why are you smiling? Do you know something that I don't know?
I don't know. I thought you were just going to roll out the Kia program. But anyway.
No. We got a
You're
good.
driving a Fiat Panda.
I had to drive one of the Fiat 500s in Italy. It was so
Oh,
slow.
little tiny ones?
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
It's huge.
As for 2025, that
QR?
do an extra race as well. Yeah.
The Tail and Bend 500.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That
one.
doesn't matter. That doesn't excite me, to be honest. But
Sorry, Mr. Shihim.
I love it. No, but 13 rounds. The more rounds, the better. More racing. More racing's
More
good.
racing.
Practice is just, like Adelaide. Practice Thursday. Practice Friday. Practice Saturday.
Practice Thursday was
need it,
pretty
mate.
good. Come on.
Yeah, no, it was great. But just let's race. Let's get into it. The NASCAR thing. One practice, 6 races a weekend. I don't mind. Like just race.
No, I think it'd be good, and we've got that end of year shootout thing happening with the new point system.
The finals. I
Yeah,
mean,
the finals.
obviously that's going to be your big talking point, but Brody, like there's plenty of cool stuff happening next year. The farewell tour.
Yeah, the big quarter leaving, take someone out. I'm taking bribes this whole year, so anyone that needs square ups, I'm happy to
We'll just have
do it for you.
Yeah.
But that's
Sounds
it,
good.
guys. We're all just now wobbling along with crap. But thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
It's
you,
been a
host.
crazy 2024. An amazing champion. You put up a great fight the whole way to the end. So I commend you on the championship. It's nice to have you on board
Thank you.
on the championship. I'm still hanging on to it. It was a long time ago, but I'll hang on to it all the time. But hopefully everyone that watches and listens has a Merry Christmas. Thank you to all the team owners and team crews and sponsors, all those people that their partners were away racing, helping us do what we do to entertain everyone. So thank you to all those people. And I hope everyone has a merry and safe Christmas and New Year.
Beautifully wrapped up.
You can tell he's definitely getting ready for me.
He's getting ready for the
He's
mic.
Getting ready for the
Getting ready for the
retirement,
mic.
you know.
Right, that's a wrap, guys.
Yeah.
See you guys.